You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Derrial Christon. I am happy to be back here on this Friday.
I know, it's been forever.
It's been a minute, but joining us today is the lovely Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
DJ Jessie J.
What's up?
And our very special guest host today, she is a talented model and actress. Summer Wayans is with us today. Can y'all give us some love? That's right. We're going to have a party today because we are excited to be here. We got a lot of topics we want to discuss today, including the SAG Award nominations were announced this week, and we were there. What? Floyd Mayweather has been announced in a murder-suicide case, which is crazy, and Hollywood completely blacks out to protest police brutality. But first, we are going to talk about the results from our last Buzz Meter question, which was, did you like the Aaliyah biopic? You guys voted. We talked about it heavily on this show.
But some of what you did.
Before we give the results, what did you think of the Aaliyah biopic on Lifetime?
I did not watch it.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even know why it was called Aaliyah movie. There's no Aaliyah movie. There's no Aaliyah. There's no music. It was just a movie about a girl.
About a girl that sang, y'all.
That's what it should have been called. About a girl. That's what it should have been called. About a girl. I like that.
Well, like the Love and Hip Hop reunion was on this past week, and I was looking. I know Lifetime was scouting because Tierra Marie might be able to play Queen Latifah in the new Lifetime.
Wow.
So done.
I have nothing to say on that yet. I should say yet.
Lifetime, hire me.
I get who I'm gonna be. Who you gonna be? We need to figure out
For
what
what,
roles
the
need to
Queen
be for the
Latifah
next
one?
Lifetime.
No, I'll be the Kevin Federline apparently.
Wow.
I was gonna say, can I be Brittany? But it's Lifetime. It might work.
Listen, for Lifetime, it might work. We'll see what they do for this
Guys,
Whitney
we're trying to
Houston
go after
biopic.
a different demographic, so we're gonna change her.
We're going to change it up.
Yeah.
We're going to change it up.
Different.
And then, now we do have the Whitney biopic coming out soon, so maybe we'll see
I think y'all
if they
would be
can.
more pleased. At least
Yeah,
they
there's
can
like-
use her music.
Yeah, like
True
4
that.
different people's voices, right? Or something
Yeah,
like that.
there's like Deborah Cox, and then there's Yaya, and then there's, whoever.
We shall see.
It's going to be great.
I'm interested to see how that turns out.
Me
We all
too.
I was surprised that 28% said yes.
Okay, you just gonna go ahead and read the results. I didn't even read the results yet.
I-
Okay, so back to since Jessie has already started to read the results. The results for the Buzz Meter question, which I will repeat again. Did you like the Aaliyah movie? You guys said 28% yes and 72% said no. And I voted, and I'm with that 72%.
Sure was.
I voted.
And you were at 28%, weren't you?
I was like, yeah, it was just a Lifetime movie.
I mean,
But even for a Lifetime movie.
For a Lifetime movie, it was great.
Really?
It was great. It was dumb and entertaining.
Okay.
but see, we ain't gonna start again because I already listen. We saw the comments on the YouTube. You guys had the right things to say. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Just send your comments to
That little
YouTube.
girl worked her butt off.
All right. So the Buzz Meter question for today is: Bill Cosby's case, real or a conspiracy theory? That's a good yes or no right there.
Honey.
Or really just real or conspiracy theory. That's all you
All
got
those
to say.
noises sound like everybody got a lot to say about
We
that.
will
Oh,
be
so much to
talking
say.
about that.
We will be talking about that today. All right, we're going to move on to trending topics, and tune in also a little bit later because we're going to talk about Summer and what she's working on and all her fun projects as well. So make sure you watch the entire show today and listen. But first up, we're going to do trending topics with DJ Jessie J.
So the BET Honorees have been announced, and some big names. We have Mr. Kanye West, who will be receiving an award, the Visionary Award, next month.
What is he?
I mean, already shade? You haven't even got through the whole...
It's not shade.
Okay, all right.
The aura was shade.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's what I'm saying,
I
Summer.
think, as Summer said before, after his last album, I mean, what else would you call him?
I'm just saying.
The award that he should be.
He's a visionary.
That is a vision.
That is a vision.
That's a
You
vision.
can have a lot of
He
different
has lots of
visions, you know?
visions.
Listen,
Yeah.
y'all leave Kanye alone.
I'm pretty sure
All
the
right.
visions are part of his problem.
We're just saying the title fits.
It does fit. I agree.
Never heard of it before.
He looks very toasty in that picture. I like his complexion. He looks like very healthy.
He does, very
And
nice clean
tan.
skin.
Good filters.
Well, Usher is going to be receiving the Musical Art Award for his 2-decade career.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Congratulations,
I
Usher.
can see that.
Felicia Rashad will receive the Theatrical Art Award.
Okay.
Jonetta Bess Cole will be getting, she's the director of the Smithsonian Institute. She will be getting the Education Award.
Nice.
And then we talked about John Thompson getting his job over at Microsoft, or getting,
He's the chairman.
yes. Now he is going to be receiving the Technology and Business Award.
Okay.
So the awards are next month, so make sure you guys tune into BET for that. It will be January 24th, taped in Washington, D.C., so congratulations to everybody.
What I do like about those awards, though, is that they cover so many different categories. It's not so many of these award shows focus on entertainment only,
yeah.
and I do like the fact that they focus on different aspects of business,
Yeah,
not
like
just
visions.
visions
I'm all
and stuff
for
like
that educational piece too.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
Something that's not really recognized, but I'm all for it.
Yes.
I agree.
Holla.
We can do more than sing and dance, guys.
Right? We can do that too, though.
We can do that too, and we do
right.
it the best. But
And so going to the entertainment type awards, we have the SAG Awards, which we were at. What was that, Wednesday?
Wednesday morning
The
at 4:15 a.m.
Child, they done sucked me up into the SAG.
I'm still tired from
I
getting
don't
up
know
that
why I
early.
didn't comprehend what I was going to, and I
Me
was
either.
so irritated.
Yeah.
Because I be like the music situations, but
They have
it
to
was,
come out first thing in the morning.
Yes, and so we had his name was, what was his name? Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort.
I hated saying his name. And Eva Longoria, they were there to announce all of the nominees. Someone wanted to
That was
call
a
me maybe.
long
All
pause.
right.
And call me maybe.
But so some of the nominees is Miss Cicely Tyson, who's nominated for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in Television.
Yes.
Also, Orange is
Just
the
about
New
to fall.
Black has a couple nominations.
Well deserved.
Definitely.
And I think they're up for what, Best Cast.
Best, I think it's best. Is it best cast in a comedy or something? But
wanna
it's
say what-
their ensemble. Best ensemble maybe in a comedy. I don't remember what the title of the category is.
Shonda Rhimes' newest project, How to Get Away with Murder,
Absolutely.
is up for one as well. And also, Orange is the New Black. Who's the actress? She's up for female
Uzo
comedy.
Aduba.
Yes.
Crazy Eyes.
So
She's
holla
up.
at you, girl. So they up there.
I do have one question though. And I'm not always trying to make it like I get at their awards and they do their thing, but I was just interested in the fact that so we had the SAG Awards and then like the next day the Golden Globes were also announced.
Yep.
And in the TV drama category, the women best female actress in a comedy or in a drama, previously Kerry Washington, Scandal, nominated the last 2 times I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And then somehow she's disappeared and Viola Davis is in there. But it's almost like they had to switch it
Replace
out.
the
Why
black
not
girl.
have them both?
But why can't they be both? Because most of the other women are the same. It's Claire Danes, Juliana Margulies from The Good Wife, and I just found it interesting. Not to say because I personally believe Scandal kind of had a dip personally, but I'm just interested in how that sort of. Just
Come on,
seemed
we
like
know
it
the
was
answer already. They only let one of us in at a time.
I just
That's the
was
rule.
like, I don't want to think like
I'm
that,
kidding.
but it kind of felt like that. It was
Calling
kind
it
of
what
like
it
Saying
is.
kidding,
Calling it what it
but-
is.
I was like, okay.
Like
Anyway.
Miss Phaedra Park says, if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, and it
It's
talk
a
like
duck.
a duck, it's a duck. Well, congratulations to everyone there. Now we have interviews from Derrial. You sat with the president of.
I sat with the president. I sat with several of the committee chair people, and also Ansel as well. So check those out on our YouTube for Black Hollywood Live. And the award show takes place on January 25th, and we will be covering them as well. So look out for Black Hollywood Live on those red carpets.
And they said that they were gonna, turn it up a little bit more
Yeah.
this year. So
Turn
yeah.
it
And let us know
I
if
mean,
you
that
have
wasn't the exact word that people
Yeah,
were
right,
saying.
right.
We're not
They
talking
gonna
about
turn
turn
it
it
up.
up.
Right. Joe Beth Williams, who's over the charity, didn't say turn up, but we're going to translate that to our language up in this bit. But if you guys have specific questions too, let us know that, tweet us,
wanna
let us
talk
know what
to.
you want us to ask. And, if there's specific things you want to know about the nominees, we'll find out and make sure we interview those
Make it
people. And
happen.
Because
That's
we're
right.
gonna be there. I don't know if I'm gonna be
We
there after
gonna
that.
be
but,
there.
I mean,
Somebody
Derrial
gonna be there.
somebody will be there.
We're gonna send Derrial
Early
there.
morning again?
Send her.
What'd you say?
Is it early morning
No,
again?
after
No,
Orange, you're
no.
there, like,
It's a normal time.
yeah,
Okay.
normal.
Moving on from that, Cuba Gooding got a job, y'all.
Yes.
Cuba
Where
Gooding
he
Junior.
been?
Well, he's going to be in. I'm really excited about this because so American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy, right?
Yes.
Well, Ryan Murphy has a new miniseries coming out, and it's a new. It's going to be coming out on FX. It's called American Crime Story, and so each season is going to focus on a historical crime. First one being
I'm so excited.
The People versus OJ Simpson.
I think that's gonna be awesome.
I think it's gonna be so amazing,
awesome.
and I'm so excited. And I'm almost like, should we not be this excited? But it's so great.
So Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to be playing OJ Simpson. Sarah Paulson is going to be playing prosecutor Marcia Clark.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I mean, okay.
So excited.
What are you feeling?
Okay,
Because
I'm
you
excited.
look
You know, I'm a
like-
Ryan Murphy fan. I'm American Horror Story. Like, I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I see Cuba playing OJ. I'm having a problem with it. I'm having a problem with it.
Remember, show me the money. It's got
Yeah,
it.
I get that, but that's like almost. I mean, he is an amazing actor, but I just think there are other people who could have done it. Like I was thinking, like Nate Parker. He was in Beyond the Lights and Red
Parker
Tape.
was like 25. looking.
Even Anthony Mackie. Like I don't know. Like
No,
but I'm saying like to me, Cuba doesn't have the edge. To me, there's
for every black role.
To me, there's an edge that OJ had, like this like sinister edge, and I just haven't seen that so much
But
from
that's because
Cuba.
you think
Cuba
about
goes
Boat
deep.
Trip. You think about Boat Trip.
Right.
You gotta like rewind a little bit
Yeah, he
and
can
think
go
about what he
deep.
was doing back in the day.
Okay,
Boat
okay,
Trip.
all right,
Get
all right,
Boat
let me-
Trip out your mind.
All right,
Yeah,
maybe I
take
got a
away
little
the
boat trip in
smile.
my mind.
He looked real happy right now.
He looked happy, you know what I'm saying?
He was usually very jolly. Yeah.
Because I felt the same way about it, Derrial. But then when I looked at the pictures and I was going through like his work, I was like, you know what? I actually think he would do a very good job.
Cuba's a good
He's
actor.
amazing. Cuba's amazing. It's just when I first heard it, I was like, now Sarah Paulson, I was, as Marcia Clark, I was like, absolutely, absolutely. But then I was like, I started doing a list. I actually wrote down a list. Now you guys can agree or disagree. I
already fired your first two.
Should we tell? Should we tell?
No.
Okay, I put Michael Ealy,
No.
Morris Chestnut,
Really pretty though.
What? Derrial?
Columbus Short.
You would
Girl,
think-
I gotta rewind. Did you just say Morris Chestnut?
Yes.
I mean, I'm saying
I
like,
love him. He is.
but I'm
sexy.
saying like more.
Like,
But I'm saying like
as OJ?
that sinister kind of part, the OJ part that we see turn
you
to the
said-
dark side.
You said, what's his?
I'm not
Columbus
talking about
Short?
complexion.
Just because Columbus Short doing whatever he doing in real life, don't mean he need to be
I'm
playing
just saying.
on TV.
I was just
He
writing down
cried.
some other
He
options.
cried.
I was writing down some other options that I felt because initially I was like Cuba just. I didn't see it yet,
nickname Cuba.
but he's gonna kill it though. I'm sure he'll
So
kill
you
it.
just need
He's
a
gonna
little
kill it.
convincing.
I just need a little convincing.
All right.
You know.
We'll have to.
Because all I
Check
keep
back in on that one.
keep seeing is show me the money and boat.
That's Boat Trip.
Boat
It's like,
Trip,
you can't
you know.
define his career on Boat Trip.
And I
mean,
did.
you
I
just
can't lie.
gotta-
I did think about Boat Trip a little bit. I can't lie to
That's
you.
what is in everybody's
Can't
brain.
lie.
Because after he did show me the money, we were confused at what he started doing. We were
Right.
Like, what?
Like it would start going this way a little bit.
We were
But hey, you know what?
But there's a chance
I hope
for
he
him to
kills it.
dig
And
and
I
do something cool.
And I do believe with Ryan Murphy, it's a great combination. So I'm excited to see it regardless.
going down.
And if y'all are excited to see it, make sure you guys hit up our sister site, AfterBuzz TV. We cover every TV show that you could possibly think of,
we
whatever
don't
your
have to cover
favorite.
that one.
Okay. I don't know. It's a little. I'd be doing the ratchet shows, but but maybe I'll pick it up for you guys. So make sure you guys check out AfterBuzz TV as soon as you're done watching whatever your favorite TV show is. AfterBuzzTV.com, and we'll be there talking about it with fans, people from the show, showrunners, producers, to get y'all all the inside information.
Inside information.
All right. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to Gossip and Rumors with Courtney Stewart.
Rumor has it.
A rumor has it, and I'm in pain this week. Okay.
So is Bill Cosby.
Girl. Okay, so obviously we've been talking about Bill Cosby now for the last 2 weeks, I believe. And it's just getting worse. Like, I don't even... Basically, at this point, at least 23 women have come forward accusing him of drugging them and or raping them. This week, actually, one of the women, the big deal has been that most of the women, it's past the statute of limitations for any sort of legal movements going on. But Ms. Tamara Green, 66, in Massachusetts, has found a slight loophole in that kind of sort of, and she basically filed a defamation lawsuit in Massachusetts against him. basically saying that he branded her a liar in public statements made through his representatives, denying her allegations of abuse, and that's defamation of her character, so she's suing him. In addition to that, this week, Ms. Beverly Johnson came forward and basically said that he did the same thing to her. She was drugged. She's not sure if she was raped, but she's pretty sure she wasn't. But she definitely recalls basically she was a similar story as all these other women. She was interested in possibly getting a job on the Cosby Show. They called her up like, hey, Cosby wants to meet you. She came to the show, went to dinner at his house, felt really safe. He invited her back to work on some scenes. Upon working on the scene, he told her to pretend like a drunk pregnant woman, which she was like,
that was what was interesting to me when I read that.
Like, I don't get it, but okay.
Yeah.
And so she's pretending to be a fake drunk woman, whatever. He offers her a cappuccino. Best cappuccino ever. She's like, nah, I don't really drink coffee. He's like, no, it's the best thing ever. He gives it to her. She took a sip, and then she took another sip, and she knew immediately she was drugged.
Yeah.
And she definitely said, I've been around since the 70s. I know what drugs are like. I've done them myself, and I knew immediately this was not okay. She got her fight or flight sort of instinct kicked in. She started calling him every name in the book, including motherfucker, and he got really angry. And she can recall being like dragged down the stairs out of the brownstone, and like he drug her out to the street and threw her in her cab. And she's not really sure how she got home, how she got into her bedroom, none of it. She believes her doorman probably helped her up to her room. She's not really sure, but she told Vanity Fair that, and she's sort of been on the PR circuit about it, and she said she felt really bad about coming forward. She didn't know if she should or if she shouldn't, especially in the face of all the things that are going on in terms of black men in this country and whatnot. And so, but she felt like she needed to support the other women that have come forward and tell her story too.
This is crazy, y'all. This is like an epidemic. Like, this has been going on, like, and nothing. Like, we ain't getting no scent of this, no nothing. Like,
I share your sentiment, Courtney.
It's just,
I mean, it's tough. We have someone that we've looked up to, an African-American role model, a prominent figure in our culture, and then we have these women that are coming forward with these horrific events that, I guess I have to say, allegedly happened to them. And it's tough because you want to be on the side, you want to support them, and at the same time, we're like, what? It's been how long, and where did this come from?
Right.
And not to say it doesn't make it any better or any worse. Like, it happened and it's horrible. But I have to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. How many women get raped every year? And how often is it that we actually hear about it? And so I think that's what makes me start questioning, okay, well, why is it that it is all over the media right now? And what is that purpose? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I mean, we've obviously been hearing this story for several weeks. Now, what I found interesting is that after Beverly Johnson actually published her story, I was looking on social media, and there's a lot of hate towards her in what she's saying. And I almost feel like it's more hate towards her than what it has been for the the white women.
The white women. Well, that's what she sort of spoke to that. I don't have the quote with me, but she spoke to the idea that being a black woman and coming forward against this black man, and she felt that way from the beginning when it happened. She didn't want to be that person to bring down this image of this person for anybody. So I'm not surprised that she's getting all kinds of negative horribleness. I just don't know what to do with this. I can't.
I mean, honestly, I was on the fence until Beverly came forward. It changed my opinion. I can't lie to you.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
There's nothing that she has to gain from this. Beverly is a world-renowned supermodel, and not that a title means anything, but I felt when I read her story, I felt like
it felt like truth.
It was so detailed and so specific, and there were so many similarities in certain parts of this story to other women that, you know, when I first heard Janice Dickinson, I was like, I don't know.
We know Janice, and she's been crazy and on drugs for years. That could have been.
I've seen her at Chateau Marmont looking
I'm like, I don't know. The other little actresses, I'm like, I don't know. But when Beverly said it, I was like, wow, you know, it really made me think of it differently.
The reason I felt like it was different also is because at that point, and she's admitted, like, she's like, I wasn't like a star or anything, but I was somebody. Like, I wasn't just the little actress trying to make a come up. Like, I had a career, and I was trying to build my career because modeling was kind of over. So yes, I was still in a building stage, but it's not like she was just on the bottom trying to climb up. So she was already sort of in a position of power, so to speak, on her own. So the idea that she would come forward and the idea that he would even attack that, like, it just,
I think a lot of what she's experiencing is that whole blaming the victim thing.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, being an African-American woman, I can't tell you how many comments I look at where it's like, how dare you, as a black woman, you should be ashamed of yourself for bringing down. Hold on.
Yeah.
That was her experience.
Right.
Who's to say she should not come forward and
Exactly.
talk about that?
Yeah.
Right.
That's hers. And she's supporting these other women. I think that support needs to go around even more.
Yeah.
There should be a system that, you know, women are supporting other women, people are supporting other people.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that way, but
Right.
it should be.
And as a man, shouldn't he be worrying about, oh, I shouldn't put myself in these predicaments?
Yeah. Because we obviously live in a culture where we definitely look at the woman and are like, are you sure you didn't do anything to deserve that?
Right.
Why were you back at his house? And it sucks. I don't
We look at now we have denim day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
where
true.
did that come from?
Yeah.
Oh, well, wearing tight jeans was a reason.
Wait, what was it called?
Denim day.
Denim Day.
Wait, I never heard of that. What is this?
Really?
Denim Day?
Denim Day essentially is standing up for women's rights, and you know it started back when you know that whole blaming the victim thing, where it was like, oh well, if she wore a certain type of outfit, oh it couldn't have been rape because she had on jeans. She had on tight jeans. Well,
She was
excuse me?
like she was asking for it.
That and it's difficult to get the jeans off. So if you know she had on tight jeans, she would have had to have helped to get them
to
off.
get them off. Yeah.
Right.
That's deep. That's deep.
All right, people just coming
Sorry,
up with
that
whatever they
educational
can
piece
find.
is popping out.
No, I like that. I mean, that's great information.
It's just appalling.
Well, the thing is, too, is that it's interesting, too, because people are upset because they're like, why are all these women saying, like, why are they coming forward because they can't do anything about it now? But I think it's a situation, too, where the stories that are real, they were probably scared to say it, you know?
But they have come forward before,
Right.
which is
Well, that's
a lot
true.
of them have
Yeah.
come forward before. Not all of them, but a lot of them have, and nobody wanted to hear it. And we already know that. We knew it years ago. So it's just, oh, damn it, Bill.
Damn it, Bill. I just,
Damn it,
yeah.
Bill. That's like,
I'll never look at a pudding pop the same way.
oh,
Never.
man.
No, I'm
I
afraid I'm
just
gonna get drugged
introduced
up
my
off on
9-year-old to the
Right.
Cosby Show. I mean, really?
I know, it's hard. It's hard for me to even look at the reruns. They were on the other day. I was trying to watch them, and it was really hard for me to watch Bill. I
The
can't
whole
lie to
time
you.
you side-eyed him.
I
You're
did.
just like,
I turned it
dude.
off, actually.
Come on now. If you
What's
was,
that show he used to do with the marker and he used to draw on the
oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and it was like
the-
a marker and had a circle on it.
I don't remember.
Well, wasn't that part of
Face.
the green or the Fat Albert or something?
it?
Wasn't that part of
Yeah.
something
in
with
the
Fat Albert?
Intros,
I
in
don't
between.
remember.
In
the
between the
segments.
segments, yeah, yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, well,
Let's move
you know,
on.
we'll find out how this
We
all
just
ends.
gonna pray for you and all you women out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of prayer, Lord, somebody. Okay, so also in devastating news this week, Floyd Mayweather was sort of seemingly on the run from the cops earlier in the week because he hadn't showed up to discuss his friend Earl Hayes' murder-suicide, and cops were sort of like, they knew he was in contact with Earl while it possibly when it happened, so they had been wanting to talk to him and he hadn't come in yet, but finally
The rumor is that he was FaceTiming.
He was
the
FaceTiming
rumor
him,
was that
yeah.
he's FaceTiming him, and apparently the rumor is true because the LAPD has confirmed that they finally sat down with him on Wednesday for a 2-hour interview, and he confirmed that he was on FaceTime talking with his friend Earl Hayes, trying to talk him out of killing himself on Monday morning, and the friend Earl, who was a rapper, walked away, went in the bathroom, shot his wife, Stephanie Mosley, who's a dancer actress. She was on Hit the Floor.
But it all stemmed from her allegedly cheating on him.
Allegedly, she was cheating on him. But the reason that they were asking Floyd, like, were you hyping him up? Like, what was going
Right.
on? Because apparently Floyd was sort of talking about what the cheating was and what happened. But what's creepy to me, though, is that so he goes and he shoots the girlfriend or the wife in the bathroom. He comes back to FaceTime.
Yeah.
And Floyd knows he heard the shot. He comes back, and Floyd's still trying to talk him like, don't kill yourself, don't you kill, and he still kills himself.
But then that night, Floyd was out at a basketball game, and I'm just
Which
like,
is
oh.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, it's just
That's why
weird.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he wasn't really on FaceTime, but now that they're saying that he really
They
confessed,
said he
that,
was
like,
there, and the cops asked him, like, what were you doing on FaceTime with him at 7 o'clock in the morning? And he said that was his best friend, and his best friend called him to say goodbye, and he...
I think that's mad crazy.
What kind of heart is that?
Well, at first when I heard about it and I was like, oh, well, who wants to talk after potentially witnessing their best friend,
That's true.
You know, in a murder-suicide? Like, yo,
Yeah.
that's like seclusion,
Right,
isolation.
seclusion.
But
Not you
the
at a
basketball
game.
game,
Like,
that just kind of throws me off a little
Yeah,
bit.
that
Where
threw
I'm
me
like,
off.
well, if you could go to the game, then you should have
probably
went down
should've went
and
to police.
talked about what happened.
But at the same time, if you basically saw it happen, maybe
He was
you're in a place
scared.
of, or maybe you're just in a place of, I want that image out of my brain. I want to pretend like I didn't even exist, like that didn't
Disbelief.
exist. So I mean, I don't know, like shock and
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe it was just shock.
shock
you
could
know?
easily be the case to like pretend like that
Undoubtedly,
didn't just
some
happen.
trauma.
Yeah.
That has to be
Severe trauma.
traumatizing.
I can't even imagine.
I'm just looking like I understand trauma, but like, this is his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of emotions were going through you that you were capable to pull yourself together and be laughing and smiling?
Some people shut down.
Yeah, everybody
entirely.
experiences things differently, and they
Yeah.
perpetrate the way that they're feeling differently. Their emotions are expressed differently. Some people are just like, "Yo, I'm not gonna deal with these emotions,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do everything and anything else so that I don't have to deal with that." And others are like,
Yeah,
you know,
because
I would have been boohooing and not being able to move, but you know.
I don't even
And
know.
Summer, didn't you go to school for something like this too? Because you know you're
sir.
breaking a lot of little knowledge right now that people don't know. That you are very educated in this area.
I am. I have my master's degree in clinical psychology, and I'm pursuing my PhD.
Yes.
All right.
You know, I'm human.
Beauty and brains.
You know.
Birder and brains. Well,
try.
Floyd, you might want to go talk to somebody, bro.
Well, he's going to be talking to somebody. It's called the
I wanna talk
police.
to somebody
Okay,
other than the police.
No, yeah,
Therapist,
some
'cause
A
that's-
therapist
to deal with that
to
trauma.
deal with it, because
And even if he's not dealing with it now, it might come up in other kind of ways. And
it took Monica a long time to get over her, what was it, her boyfriend that shot
Oh, yeah,
himself
shot
in
himself.
the car next to her. Like,
Yeah.
she years. It took her years to work through that. So just don't assume you are right.
I just can't imagine. I mean, witnessing that. That's from a friend or family member. You know, even when I've read stories of this thing happening to people, I can't imagine sitting there through that.
It's rough. Good luck, Floyd.
Yeah.
We'll pray for you too. All right. Speaking of folks that need prayer, Sony. Y'all are on struggle bus.
Yes, they are.
On struggle bus. Oh my goodness. Sony Studios, guys, they were hacked. They were hacked the last week of November, and for the last week and a half, all their business just been put on blast on the internet.
on blast.
Word on the street is that more than likely that North Korea is behind the hacking because they're mad about this new movie that's about to come out called The Interview with Seth Rogen and James
Right.
Franco that is basically a stupid comedy
like a
about trying
Borat.
to kill the leader of North Korea. So the word on the street is they mad as hell and they decided to Sony up, and they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So all the business is out, y'all. Salaries got released. Personal records of all of the employees, medical records were released. And personal emails of
all the tea.
executives and actors and all kinds of things. All the tea was released. The biggest one that everybody's talking about is how Scott Rudin, the producer, talked all kinds of smack about Angelina Jolie. So everybody's all upset about that.
What was he saying?
He basically called her a spoiled brat and blah, blah, blah,
You
blah.
didn't talk about my boo like that.
Yes. Oh, he went in. He was not happy, and they were all mad because of a director. And she wanted a director for her movie. He wanted the same one, and they were fighting. And Amy Pascal is also right in the middle of this. She is one of the executives over at Sony, and she was talking all kind of smack about Angelina, and she was also talking smack about Obama, y'all.
What'd she say about Obama?
Yes, she did.
Amy Pascal and Scott Rudin wrote some racially charged comments about Obama.
You have
One of the light ones was about basically that they, by the way, they raised money for Obama, y'all. And anyway, but one of the comments was about Obama only liking movies with black actors in it.
Yeah.
And what? Didn't you like movies with white actors in it?
Was
but
it
anyway.
something taken out of context?
Oh no,
or
they used.
They claim it was all joking, but they've both released statements of apology.
Yeah, of course.
I hate when people
I
do
mean,
that.
things happen behind closed doors, and they think it's not going to come to light. It comes to
It
light.
comes to light.
We know how you really feel. But what, since then, Judd Apatow went online and he said that the release of all of the personal emails is as bad as the release of the hacking of the naked pictures
Nude
of all the
photos.
actresses. Because it's personal and it's private.
And they are embarrassed.
I actually think it's worse because these are statements that they're making. Because Amy Pascal, she was joking about when she met with Obama, should she ask him about 12 Years a Slave and the Django and Ride Along? I mean, come on. And then this is my favorite part, though, is that I guess Amy Pascal was at an event last night or a couple nights ago to celebrate women in Hollywood, and Angelina was there.
went
And there's
to
a
hug
picture.
Angelina.
She went to hug Angelina, and they say
Angelina
that
was
they say Angelina gave her straight ice face.
Ooh, I bet
so
she
there's
did.
a picture actually online that shows
she
Angelina, like you could just tell she's looking at her like no
Like, don't
nonsense,
even come
like
at
don't
me.
even come at me.
Yes.
And even the article says that Amy Pascal's got balls because she actually walked up to Angelina
real?
after all this stuff has been released.
And what's interesting is she said that in her apology, she said something to the effect of, "I don't want these few comments to sort of represent who I am in my 30-year career."
Come
I was
on.
like, oh,
Then don't
really?
make 'em.
Then,
I mean, I'm saying.
because it's obviously what's in your heart.
Because who are you?
You know what I'm saying?
Because we didn't get access to all the 30 years worth of.
Because what the
behind
rest
the
of the 30
scenes,
years is
right.
probably worse, boo.
You feel me?
You know.
Right, let's go back about 20 and see what them typewriting.
What was you talking about
situations was
then?
looking like.
Here's my thing though, people are stupid because
Everything in email is available.
That's what I'm
y'all.
saying. Why put it in email? It can always be traced back to you. Why put it on your phone? It can always be traced back to you. Have we not learned that
We've been
already?
talking about
We've been talking about this
over
forever.
and over. I said the same thing about the new pictures. I empathize with you being upset that your pictures got out, but we are not. That shit is not
You
secure.
You
Not at all.
The
sympathize.
cloud, you are telling us that you believe that an international network of communication is private? Are you out of your mind?
Ain't
See, people
nothing
get
private
arrogant.
but what you keep in your head.
Girl, I'd be sketched to go on certain websites like, let someone find out what websites I be on.
I'm saying I just didn't do the what is that, the Facebook Messenger thing. It wanted too much information.
Exactly.
I was like, I barely
can't
use it
sign
as
up
it
for
is.
that. So people use Facebook Messenger. I see y'all when I get to my computer because on the mobile apps
Okay.
they don't want you to type it no more.
dig.
So there you go.
Well, Kevin Hart was also a victim of all this too.
A bunch of people. Kevin Hart, people's personal, some actors and their like aliases got out, so you can find them at the hotels, y'all. Just look it up online and you'll find out what their names are.
I remember when I was in college and the first one had happened and it was everyone's phone numbers, and I remember we called Lil Jon. It really went to his voicemail. I was really excited about that. It didn't do all that, but I was in my head I thought it was
You're
gonna be like,
hilarious.
"Hey, Lil Jon!" I thought it was gonna be all that, but it wasn't all that.
Yeah.
I just feel like people are getting so arrogant that they think they'll never get
Yes.
caught. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's all these racially charged police things that we're going to talk about a little bit later that's going on against black people and just emails and things. I feel like everything's starting to be exposed. Like people keep calling this the end of the world because there's so many things that are just. I just feel like at any moment everything could just catch on fire because we're just it's a heated moment for race and just
We living
it's
on the edge,
sad.
y'all.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
is sad that
you
we're
read the
living
Book
in
of
the worst of
Revelations?
times.
we're worst of times. I'm kind of sick of people blaming Obama, but that's a whole other different subject.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
messed
here's
up
my
before
thing
him.
though. We keep saying like the worst of times, you know what I mean? But like really, like we can go back to some times that were a
Sure,
little worse.
we're not
not
walking
wanna
out and
live
getting hosed
Great
by.
Depression.
I saw 12 years a
Man.
slave.
I was like,
Yeah,
slavery.
sure,
not the worst of
absolutely.
times,
It's
y'all.
not the worst of
And I
times.
sure wouldn't want
That's
to live
right.
during the Great Depression either. Like there are times I would not want to be living up about. So let's take a look at the positive. My thing is don't be stupid, people. When you're taking nude photos, that's going to get some. I don't care if you got your chin strap in it or what you got in it, but I'm just saying, just
Draw
be
some
careful.
pictures and put it in the mail.
I mean, just let the imagination.
No, because the mail can be lost.
I mean,
And I was
draw
gonna
a
say,
figure.
back in the day when you used to actually, develop your film,
Yeah.
I used to be like, somebody sitting here looking at these photos.
Exactly.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because if it were me, I'd flip through a little.
Right.
Yeah, me too. I'd be like,
Oh,
let me
you
just
nasty. I'll see what you
make a little note of that little
Like, I might have to go
thing
hold
going on
down
right
that
there
block.
now.
I'm gonna have to call him. Okay.
But if you don't want other people to see it, then you keep it in your pocket. That's all I got to say.
Just
don't
keep
be
your clothes
passing it
on.
around.
Keep your clothes on.
Well, this is a big fire, so it's going to be interesting to see if you think their jobs will be eliminated.
Well, no. I don't.
I want to say no, but at the same time, Angelina has some power.
Angelina got power,
Yeah.
and she like her black child or two black. I think she has two black children or one
Yeah, she got two.
black child.
1, 2.
She don't play when it comes to the race, so
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, Amy has something to worry about, maybe. But I don't.
Yeah,
Scott Rudin.
Scott
doesn't.
Rudin, no, he's a producer, so
Yeah,
I'm
he'll
sure
be
he's good.
fine, but-
yeah, he just won't do any more ride-alongs.
People, all your little shady comments,
Tisk, tisk.
Keep them to yourselves.
Yeah,
keep them to yourself.
keep them to yourself.
Or be bold and just go on television
Or
and
tell
say
them
what you want to
straight
do.
up.
Say it how it is.
Actually,
This is
that's
how
true.
I feel. I
That's
feel
true.
like Obama only supports A, B, C, and D.
Right.
Then say it.
Then
and
say
then I
it.
wouldn't be mad at it. But when you
True.
sitting up here like, hey, and then you typing away in your little email.
Right,
You see that Negro and how he? We caught you. There you
Right.
go.
busted.
We're done. Moving on.
All right. All right, well, thank you, Courtney. You got any more gossip for us?
Oh, y'all can probably see some Sony movies online if you look real hard.
Especially right now.
They real mad at that too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can go on live right now.
Look that up.
Sites tonight, y'all.
And y'all can thank, I'm sorry, who are these people that did it? The Guardians of Peace.
The Guardians
are
of
the
Peace.
alleged perpetrators of this horrible crime. And scene.
And scene. All right. Before we move on to our final topics of hot topics, I want to remind everyone to go to iTunes, check out Black Hollywood Live, give us a rating and comment. We want to thank Coco Naomi TV for giving us ratings. Also,
Coco Naomi.
is it Isaiah Thomas, I believe, as well, who has given us some great information and gave us a story for today as well. Actually, it's Isaiah Stevens, excuse me. So please continue to go and give us ratings and comments because we do pay attention, as you can tell, and we will make sure that we give you guys the programming that we need. If you want to check out some of our shows that are on right now, we have Fashion 401, which Courtney hosts, and actually Summer was one of our guest hosts on the show as well. We have The Beat with Jesse, and we also have Portraits, which we all host, all the way down to Geek Nerd Tech, and the list goes on and on. So give us a ratings. We have about 15 shows for Black Hollywood Live. Subscribe to us as well, and we will continue to build the best programming that we can for you guys.
Show us some love.
Show us some love, y'all. Show us some love. All right, we're going to move on to the EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
I love it.
I know, I love that sound effects. It makes me want to pop lock or something. All right.
I didn't go that far, but all right.
Alrighty then. All right, so we have obviously been talking about a lot of the police brutality that's been going on in the news and nationwide. We've had a lot of protests from New York all the way to LA and DC. Obviously, protesting against the final verdict for Eric Garner and also Mike Brown. And as well, we had an incident that happened last week where a unarmed man was killed, or allegedly an unarmed man, or they said that he may have had just a pocket knife, was shot in the head by police officers in LA. So that sparked a variety of also different protests that have been taking place. And we participated in one last week called Blackout Hollywood, where it was a great combination of people of all over LA and Southern California who came in with celebrities, and we started off at the W Hotel in Hollywood and marched all the way to the Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, and it was a peaceful protest. It's not always violent. Right. We get the bad rap. It was a very peaceful protest, which it was about 100 people overall, and the movement, everyone wore all black, and we basically, protested what we really felt and came together. That we chanted things such as hands up, don't shoot, all the way down to I can't breathe, which was obviously used by Mike Brown and Eric Garner. And Summer's representing I Can't Breathe t-shirt today. Yeah. We have a little clip here that we're going to show you guys, and you can listen to of a portion of the protest. This is actually Tyrese Gibson talking and educating people on what we need to do as far as like trying to change the situation here.
We have been brought in this world to live our lives safely in our own communities. It doesn't matter what your tax bracket is. We are human beings. So today, whatever nationality you are representing and making a statement on behalf of the human race. And you are protecting the future, which is our children. So one more time, hands up. Don't shoot. 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 Hands up. Don't shoot.
So that's a little snippet of, as I mentioned, Tyrese Gibson speaking about that. Tyrese is really great in supporting this as well. He went on social media and really tried to get his fans and people to come along to the protest prior to the protest actually happening. It took place in Hollywood and Highland, and I think Tyrese even got like over 10,000 likes like within a couple hours of just trying to get people involved here. I mean, we've obviously been seeing these protests take place across the country. Do you guys think that this is something that's really going to help in these racially charged incidents that are happening? Do you think the police is even really paying attention to it? Or do you think that this is just something that they think like, oh, okay, yeah, let them protest, but what does it really mean?
I mean, I think that it's not even really about the police taking notice. I think in part they have. We've seen, I think it was in New York, where they actually put down their shields and, stood in solidarity with the people who were peacefully protesting, because police officers don't want this happening either, but there are a select few.
Right,
There's
we
a bad
put it
bunch.
all on police officers are now bad, and it's like...
Yeah, and I mean, I know some people who are police officers that I grew up with, and they're mad at this too, because it's not really about the police themselves. It is about what is happening. It's about the dehumanization. It's about how people are being treated. And it's not really a black versus white thing. It is a human thing.
True.
It is about everyone deserving the same thing and rights not being validated and lives being taken when it's not yours to take.
Good point.
Amen.
Courtney?
I think it's the most interesting thing that I've sort of followed and like listening, because there's always the debate: is this just going to be like a social media revolution that doesn't really amount to anything? Like, people are marching, is it really going to amount to anything? The thing that I've found fascinating is our lack of information about the problem. Like, listening to, you know, CNN, NPR, whatever, and listening to how many, like, the idea that I think they have legislation right now that they're trying to get Obama to sign something. I couldn't get all the details. To set up some kind of way that we can actually figure out statistically what's really going on around the country, because we have no idea really numbers wise like how many people are really dying at the hands of cops. And the way our system is set up, that basically the people that work, the cops' partners are the DAs and the grand juries, and they have to work with those people day to day to do their jobs. And they're the checks and balances to make sure that the cops are doing, like, that doesn't make any sense, because you're already biased to begin with, because that's your partner. Like, you can't investigate your partner. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. And we just haven't made any steps so far to take care of that, or look at that, or think that maybe we need an independent committee that kind of like, and it's not funded that way. And we don't have statistical numbers based on who's being shot, how many times. All we get are the, you know, the ones that get national media attention. We're like, oh my God, and we all know it's happening, but we just don't know the real breadth of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just, in my mind, I would definitely like to see something come about that is going to really investigate and look into that across the country, not just in major cities, and start to build a situation where we have a way to police our police without having their friends do it, if that makes any sense. Because we can't continue as we are after this has happened. Like, we can't.
Well, we didn't have the show last week, but one of the topics that we were going to discuss is that Obama's trying to implement the fact of putting cameras on police officers. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think that that will resolve or help any of the situation? Because it's like millions and millions of dollars to make this happen.
I mean, we'll be able to see what they're doing, but I don't think it's going to change what's actually happening. Because we're not able to intervene in that. Everything is about doing something after it's already happened, and once a life is taken, you can't get it back.
That and also it's just the idea of it, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, but then, well, you know, the camera was down during this one incident, or, you know, the sound was off, or it's just there's going to always be something. And so for me, with these protests, I appreciate them, and what I want from it is for it to continue. Yeah. I don't, because what I think is going to happen is they're going to slowly die down, and that's what the government is looking at. Well, we'll just let them do this right now. Let them have their rah-rah right now. It'll calm down. We can get back to, you know what I mean? Like, everything will go back to normal. But I think this has to be something like, nope. Still here, we're still upset, we still haven't seen a change, so we're still going to continue to do this. And I think if we keep that momentum up and really bringing in other, making it less about a specific isolated incident and really bringing the attention to what's going on in the nation, so that we can get other races, other people who aren't looking at it like, oh, this isn't my problem, this isn't my fight. No, it is. Right. It is. But we need to take the focus off of this one isolated incident and wake up America and say, this isn't just an isolated incident. This is happening.
We have to think bigger, because the picture is bigger. I mean, the way I see it is, this is a historical cycle. Yeah, it is. We've been through this already, and it might look a little different, but we've
it's
been
the same
through this
situation.
already. And when I say we, not just black people, but all different types of races have been put in situations like this, and, you know, damned to experience and be under these circumstances.
And I feel like someone was saying the day the Hollywood protests happened, they're like, yeah, well, you know, I think it's just we just need a Martin Luther King right now, and Obama's not being that. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, Obama is not being put on no pedestal to be a Martin Luther King. Like that's besides the
I'll
point.
be Martin Luther
You know
King
what I mean?
of my own self and do what I can do.
Thank
And that's
you.
the attitude that people need to take.
I agree
you
with
hear
that.
You don't wait for somebody
right.
to stand up and do the work for you. We have to do the work together.
See a problem, let's try to figure out a way to fix it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Darnell Appling, who actually he organized the march that happened last week. So special shout out to him.
Thank you.
And you know, this is the subject. It's Black Lives Matter. You know, that's the hashtag. So let's continue the conversation. You know, let's all work together and try and figure out how we can solve this problem, because it's clearly going to be an ongoing thing. So we're not going to get the answer overnight.
Put forth solutions. That's my only thing. Put forth solutions.
Put forth the solution.
Can't talk about it otherwise.
That's right. All right, moving on to another subject that is involving violence is recent details of torture were released from the CIA in reference to how they have been handling several of the people that they have captive. During the President George Bush administration, after the 2001 terrorist attacks, there was a recent report that actually revealed some of the methods that were used by the CIA to, let's say, try and get information from our terrorists. One, I'm just going to name a couple things out. There are several things that were released. The CIA paid 2 psychologists more than $80 million to come up with torture methods. Programs developed were considered brutal and in violation of the U.S. law, treaty obligations, and values. Torture procedures included rectal feeding, sleep deprivation, insects, the use of diapers, mock executions, and rectal hydration. All right, CIA.
It's not funny, but
I just got a visual every time I read it.
Yeah.
The CIA accidentally tortured 2 of its own informants. At least 26 people were wrongly detained. The CIA lied about details of the program. CIA also threatened to rape and kill many family members of the detainees. And the top CIA officials threatened to quit over some of these procedures that they found out about. And also, Mr. Bush, President Bush at the time, said that he was unaware of the torture and was shocked and felt uncomfortable when he initially found out about everything that was going on. What do you guys feel about our procedures as far as the way we deal with the terrorists that we have in our country?
In my mind state, personally, I do believe that he probably did not know.
Absolutely,
just like I would
believe that.
Obama don't know what the heck be going on in certain
I believe
situations.
that as well.
So I bet that one out of it. 2, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really even want to talk about it because I'm just at a point of like, it's just too big for my mind to even really gather around, because it's a scary world, and I get scared when it comes to other countries wanting to attack us and things like that. But my thing is let's not talk about all these other countries and the things they do to our people, but then you up in here doing the same things to theirs. Like, it just don't make sense.
And wrongfully.
Wrongfully.
How many people
20
were
some-
wrongfully?
26, they said. 26.
And I mean, I heard psychologists in there, so you know I got to jump in.
I know. I felt the energy to the right when I said psychologist. She was like, "Oh, hold up."
Well, because there's already a stigma out there, but psychologists who are licensed are bound to do no harm. That is one of the #1 criteria. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, first of all, we're placing the blame on somebody else.
Right.
First of all, because you paid these people this amount of money to come up with it. They might have a skill set, but they were using it wrong.
Right.
So just to put that out there, I don't partake in that.
Well, it's one of those things I'm actually on the fence about, because here's my thing is we always hear, especially lately, we've heard those stories about what they do to our people. I mean, we have beheadings and they send us the videos. I mean, horrible things are happening to these people. And I'm not saying tit for tat, but there comes a point where we need to find information out. And these guys are not going to give information willingly without some type of repercussions are used. Now, I don't believe in all of this terrorist act towards them, but how do we get the information?
Are we getting information?
We'll see.
I think we're getting some information.
But see, that's sort of been the argument, that the reality is that there is a circle of thought that believes that the reality is that most of the information that we got was possibly inaccurate because they were just trying to stop the torture. That's not really the best way to go about it, et cetera, et cetera. So we don't actually have any real proof that we got anything super great, but we also don't have any proof that we didn't get anything that was super great and necessary to perpetuate safety in this country. So you can't really evaluate it based on that because it sort of falls in the middle. But what I find fascinating is the shock that everybody had. That everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe, what? I was like, it was a... Guantanamo Bay was not a picnic.
Right,
It was a detainee facility. We know that we engage in some level of torture to get information. What is torture? Point blank period. Torture is torture.
Torture is torture.
So I that's why when it's like, you know, what's his name? Bush didn't really know what was going on, or so and so didn't. Maybe you didn't know the specifics, but there's no doubt in my brain that they are fully aware that torture is happening. Right. So it's either we're torturing or we're not going to torture, because torture is inhumane, period. So I don't really know how we figure that out, because like you said, we live in a world that's...
It's just so sinister, like, to really, like, sit there, like, I mean, and I get it, because it's, like, obviously, you know what I mean, but to sit there and say someone, we're going to pay $80 million to create, you know, like, okay, we're going to create the super douche to, like, you know what I mean, like, torment
like
people.
The worst.
You know what I think? I just think a Huck. I think a Huck on Scandal. That's what I think of.
But
Huck
I mean,
on
that's
Scandal.
what it...
You know,
make no mistake, we train killers and murderers, and that's what our CIA, like, that's what they're trained for. So they're not trained to be humane, so to speak. So I don't really know that there's a humane way to go about the business of terrorism. I'm not sure that there is, and
I think it's a difficult place, because we've put ourselves in this situation where it's kind of like, well, now if we don't do something, then we are allowing this to happen.
And we're weak, and we're not, like, standing up to...
And we do not want to be seen as a weak country. That's
we already are, apparently.
Well, we already are, apparently. Right.
But are we really? Like, I always have questions about those kinds of things, because I'm like, yo, when did that start?
Yeah.
And so we're torturing people, and then we're getting mad at them for torturing us.
Yeah.
And it's another cycle that we're a part of, and none of it makes sense, and two wrongs don't equal a right. And are we making anything better? No, I think we're making it worse, because you kill my brother, you coming back, then they gonna kill yours. And
well, somebody said that the release of because there was argument of whether they should release the report to the public, et cetera, because there's concern, like, they're telling people not to travel overseas because we don't really know what's going to go down. But that
isn't that always?
But
exactly. Like, I haven't been back to Mexico.
But supposedly by releasing the report and putting our dirty laundry out, we can finally possibly grow and get back to a place of being the moral center of the world. And I was like, was that really ever the case?
Right, like, we got no shit.
We got protests and riots going on right now. Let's get that together before we worry about being a moral country. You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying, or being considered the moral country.
But I think it's fascinating that there's the concept that the country, especially knowing the history of this country and what we've done to brown people and hell, what we did to Japanese people during World War II, like,
Native Americans.
We were considering ourselves the moral center of anything is just sort of fascinating to think about, and really to think about what the hell does moral really mean.
What does it really mean?
You know what? It's so crazy. I was looking at the dollar the other day, and I was like, this is, and I know it's been brought up before, but watch the next big thing I feel like is going to be to take In God We Trust off of the dollar. And I just feel like that is going to set off something
that's going to set up a lot of things. I mean, you got to throw religious people in that factor too. I mean, that's a whole other subject that will be going on.
I don't know why it popped in my head the other day, but I was just like, it's so interesting watching the news lately, how the media is just taking certain stories and just slamming them so hard in our face, more so than usual, because I felt like 90s, early 2000s, like, the stories would carry on, you would follow the story for a little bit, and then it would be another one. This is just like, you just turn everywhere, you feel like, I am in chaos. My life is just like, I can't watch the news, I get anxiety.
That's because I don't even watch it too.
But you know, if they took off In God We Trust, then they wouldn't be able to say, you know, God bless America and nowhere else.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
Well, I mean, they've been talking about to take it out of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an ongoing thing, but
it's so messy.
It's messy.
America is messy as hell. Like, built on some of the most evil-ish ever, yet somehow we are the moral compass for what's right and wrong in the rest of the world. Like, I'm fascinated.
Where they do that at?
I'm fascinated. And how do we get Yet somehow we think previously we were way better than we are now because, drone strikes and killing this and we're awful. But like,
I think because we just don't hear about it as much in our we get so used to our day to day. I think that people just don't even realize what's really going on or care. Right. All right. Well, moving on to our last subject of the day. I was going to call it the lighter subject, but it depends on what complexion you are, lighter or darker. But all right. So we have a new website that's causing a lot of controversy. It's called lightskinorddarkskin.com. So apparently this is what happens. You submit your picture.
I meant to do it.
I meant to do it too. I did not have a chance. But you submit your picture online, and then the viewers determine if you are considered light skin or brown skin or dark skin.
Scroll down right here, we can see this girl.
Yes. So if you go to blackhollywoodlive.com and watch the show or YouTube, you can see where you can scroll down and then you actually can pick. Like my picture would be up and you would vote if I'm light or black. Now the site was
what would we say her?
Excuse me, light or dark.
What are we gonna go with?
You can't tell. She's got a weird.
I'm gonna go with her being light though.
All right, so we'll say light.
I'm gonna say light. Let's click it. So we're gonna click it.
It gives you a percentage and shows you
how many people said that you were light.
81%.
81% thought she was light. 19% thought she was dark. Now, this was started from a Harlem resident named Nate Hill. This is what Nate had to say about him creating this site. He said that I created this site as a playground where people can see themselves and promote conversation around colorism. He added, the site may be offensive to some visitors, but this is the point of me making it. Now, currently, this site has received over 20,000 votes. The website is just a hobby, apparently, for Hill. He also works as a biology lab.
I found that fascinating.
Biology lab assistant and takes care of fruit flies that are used in scientific studies. Now, if that's not two careers, I don't know what is.
Well, it's the same, but it's
he got some time on his hands. I guess so.
He's using scientific method.
He's scientific method.
Trying to find out what's.
I mean, but here's my thing. Like, do we really need this site? I don't need this site to determine if I am dark or light.
This is like that hot or not. I can't stand these things. These websites. You're burning into people's brains of what is attractive, what something is. You're putting this in a box. I went through like a couple of these pictures and I was like, I don't even know what I would say about that. I thought one was light, I thought one was dark. I was like, but then at the end of the day, why are we doing this? Why? What's the point?
What's the point? That's my thing. I was like, what's the point? Why are we still talking about this?
I mean, if he's saying that he's trying to, provoke some conversation, then the conversation needs to be facilitated.
Right. What's the conversation?
Because if we're just looking at light versus dark, I mean, yes, I think that there's historical connotation to that and cultural connotation to where, even within Asian culture, there is a light skin and a dark skin. But if you ask me, I'm like, well, they all light skin. But within their own culture, it's
different. Yeah, it's like Indians, too.
So if we're going to talk about it and the fact that it, the light or dark doesn't matter, but that there's a perception out there that people have, and this is how it can affect people or influence. Let's have that conversation. But just putting the photos in light or dark, we're just feeding the stereotype.
We're feeding the stereotype. I mean, Courtney.
Well, he said he was something I was reading. He said that he wanted to spark conversation about colorism, and that he was attempting to make
himself.
He's biracial himself, so he's had an interesting experience, and he was trying to post comments to get people to get more into commenting and not just voting one way or the other. So, I mean, I personally find it fascinating if it actually evokes conversation about it.
I just don't know how it will.
But I don't think it will unless somebody is really making. But maybe it'll just randomly start, and people will start commenting. But then I feel like it'll get ugly because people are evil online and it's just pointless. So maybe it's not such a great idea. But I do kind of find it interestingly, weirdly, whatever. But yeah,
intriguing.
It's intriguing.
It's intriguing.
It just bothers me because I'm so against ever since I remember working at the Boys and Girls Club and that hot or not, and these kids, little kids from high school, this girl was crying and I was like, what is wrong with you, girl? And she was like, so and so voted that I was not hot on whatever this website was, and I'm looking like, this girl is 14 years old, put her picture up online and is being judged by people that's what all we're doing is
judging.
That's
what I feel like. It's like judging. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, his goal was not I don't think he was trying to place a value judgment on either one. And I think that's interesting that we immediately jump to that. If it's light or dark, there's some sort of value judgment based on that, and that's why people are being offended. And yes, it has context in our culture. And I think that's kind of the point. I think he kind of wants us to look at that. Why would immediately light versus dark? It's is that red or is that blue? In his mind, that's what he's trying to get us to. And just knowing that he's a biology person, like, I feel like there's just...
Like, the more you go through the pictures, because then I was, like, just trying to get some sort of something. And as I'm going through, I was like, there's no point to this, because it's really whoever's sitting at the computer and wants to pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I need a statement or something.
I guess I just think everybody
But
likes
that's good. But that's the point. Like, that's like what you see as something different than something else. Like, I would love to see what the statistics would be versus, you know, average white person versus average black people versus mixed race people, and like seeing what, and if and then conversing about what that actually indicates to them. Like, if it's taken a step further to, like, okay, just like when they do the little simulators or whatever for the cops, and they're like, you know, people can do it and see, they're more likely to shoot a dark-skinned male versus a light-skinned female. And that's just from seeing it. So I think he's going somewhere.
Right, but that's making a statement with it. I don't see any statement with this. This is just voting.
He's there yet.
Darnell is Darnell. Where is it?
Darnell.
He's just in the beginning stage.
Darnell, these are notes for further development. We want to see some.
We need some more meat.
Constructive criticism.
You got the vote. Now we need, like, where you going after that?
Yeah. Phase 2.
Nate Hill, excuse me, it's Nate Hill, not Darnell.
Look, you got me talking to Darnell.
Why you call him Darnell?
Nate Hill.
Where Darnell from?
The message
Because Darnell
is for you.
was from before, from the
That's what he said.
profit,
number
from the
2.
no,
Got
from
me talking to the wrong person on camera.
The protest.
There's a
Nate
Darnell
Hill.
out there. Hey, boo.
Hey, Darnell. Hey, Nate.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in to this week. Courtney, where can your fans find
got
you?
really hot.
It got super hot.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stewart Starlet.
Jesse, where can people find you?
DJ Jesse J.
Our very special guest today, Summer Wayans. You have a lot of projects you're working on. What to give the fans a little sneak preview of what you're working on?
I do. Let's just say there might be a Summer Wayans project in the mix. So more to come.
Right. Like movie, reality TV.
Maybe a little reality. We'll see. Give you guys a little sneak peek into my life, into my world.
Nice.
Well, where can they find you to find out more about your project?
I'm on all social media at Summer Wayans. You can also reach me on summerwayans.com.
All right. Well, you can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And also remember to vote for the question, which was today, the BuzzMeter question. Bill Cosby case, real or a conspiracy theory? You guys let us know, and we'll read those results next week. And have a great weekend.
Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.